The guy in the White House has vowed to sign an executive order that would seek to end the right to U.S. citizenship for children born in the United States to non-citizens, a move that most legal experts say would not afoul of the Constitution. In other words, he's trying to terminate the 14th Amendment, and he has the power to do so. Take a look.
Some legal scholars believe you can get rid of birthright citizenship without changing the Constitution.
With an executive order.
Exactly.
Right.
Have you thought about that?
Yes.
Tell me more.
It was always told to me that you needed a constitutional amendment.
Right.
Guess
14th
what?
Amendment.
You don't.
You don't.
Number one, you don't need that. Number two,
I mean, that's in dispute.
You could definitely
That's very much in dispute.
Well, you can definitely do it with an act of Congress, but now they're saying I can do it just with an executive order. Now, how ridiculous. We're the only country in the world where a person comes in, has a baby, and the baby is essentially a citizen of the United States for 85 years with all of those benefits. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And it has to end.
Have you talked about that with council?
Yeah, I have.
So where in the process?
It's in the process. It'll happen.
So let's just get this straight here, okay? The 14th Amendment under the United States Constitution, Section 1, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person with its jurisdiction the equal protection of its laws.
Let me ask you a question, right? Have you ever heard of a president throughout the United States, all the presidents within the United States trying to get rid of a certain amendment? I feel like he's the only one. That's why I feel like he deserves to be impeached.
Right.
The moves he makes to try to make this country the best it can, I just don't feel like he brings enough to the table, and I feel like enough is enough at this point, and I feel like it's time for him to get impeached, and that's why I hope this election goes well.
Right. Yeah. There's no president that has the entitled to get rid of an amendment. So yeah.
Listen, I feel like, for me personally, this presidency that he has, I feel like he's taking it as a joke. That's how I'm seeing it. I feel like because he has the power to do these things, he's being so blunt about it. And you can obviously see through his Twitter accounts, through his social media, what he writes, how he presents himself pretty much, and the comments that he makes and the remarks that he states. It's just, he's not taking it seriously. And comparing him to Obama, if Obama was to do half of the things that he did, he would have been impeached.
Especially his attacks on the media. Let's not forget that.
Exactly. CNN insulting them and things like that. It's just, but one thing I can say though, he is bringing these people that are hiding their true colors out in the open because of his presidency. So it's insane that he's even thinking about doing something like this. And I'm not surprised at all. I'm not.
Me either.
It's
everything
just
as a joke. I agree with you.
Like
he doesn't take anything serious, and I feel like he shouldn't take the 14th Amendment away. Like, why would you do that? Like you said, he'll be the first, to ever really do that. Like, why? That's not necessary. Why would you do that?
They obviously say your birthright. Pretty much where you were born is where, that's where you belong. That's your birthright. So being a citizen where you were born is your birthright. And he's taking that away. Something that our people back in the day have fought for so long. And now he's just like stating that out there like it's nothing. Like, oh, it doesn't mean anything. We should just take it away.
It makes me sick.
It's just, it's kind of hurtful to think that he's just that heartless.
I mean, we learn about it all the time, about the certain amendments. Obviously, the first one is pretty simple, free of speech and stuff like that.
Yep.
But as you go down the line, you should, I feel like everyone, not just ourselves, the youth, but even adults as well, should understand what each amendment states and what it represents. Because all of these amendments came into play for a reason.
Yep.
Now, we're taking away a Fourth Amendment. Basically, we're taking away someone's citizenship, like she said, their birthright. Why are we doing that? I don't understand what his intentions are. I feel like he's going to do it sooner than later, which is not good. I feel like once he makes that move, that's when people should really go out there and fight and speak, protest, do everything you can to get your voice heard. Because if you're taking away a 14th Amendment, which no president, correct me if I'm wrong, has never did, then it's time for him to go.
And with piggybacking on what you're saying about how the youth should stand up and actually go and like take action about this, one thing that after the past midterms, I can say that our voice actually does matter. Like, it shows that when we come together and we fight for something that we really want, we can actually get it. And that was proven with the midterm elections and the results. So I'm happy to see that, you know, now the youth, the young generation, our generation is actually standing up and doing something to make a change. And it doesn't end here. You know, for some people, this was their first time voting, and I'm happy that they voted, because this is something huge. This is another thing, yet another thing that we fought for back in the day, to have the right to vote. So, you know, exercising your rights and protesting, you know, doing these things that can actually help our community is the best thing that our youth can do, and I'm glad that our youth is actually doing something about it.
To really piggyback off what you said, if we have time, but isn't that the reason why you made the spotlight? Because of a show like this, for young individuals like ourselves to really see what's going on in the world. Because let's be real, a lot of young people around our age don't really watch the news like that.
Oh, yes.
But when they see a show like this and they see people like us, young, early 20s, talking about politics, specifically what Trump is doing, you know, we're able to open their eyes and expand their knowledge along the way. So I thank you, Dave, for doing this kind of stuff.
Right.
Yes.
And this is one of the things within social media that we
Shout
can
out
do.
to Dave,
Good
man.
job.
Yeah, because you know it's always important that the youth should understand of what is happening in our society, because
Right.
some of the issues of what is happening today can affect the youth, and the youth may have a say on it, and it could affect their loved ones and their families, or
Right.
sometimes even with their close friends of
Very
theirs.
right.
So
Very,
that's why
very right.
it's always important for you to get your voice out, heard in the public, and at times during elections, get out and vote. That's all that matters.
And you know what's the shocking thing about it is when you see a young individual who's able to talk about politics and then really express his opinion thoroughly, it can shock a lot of grown people. Because you don't hear a lot of, young individuals who talk about this kind of stuff. You know, we talk about entertainment and things like that. But when you're able to talk about politics and really get deep, dig deep and express your opinion.
And get exclusive.
So I think this is the reason why the spotlight really came about, and I'm excited to be a
and
part
I'm glad.
of it.
Yeah, definitely. This is something that's
and
a
I'm
big
so
thing.
glad that I created the show, you know,
Right,
because
to bring light to things that actually matter in the world.
Exactly.
And I thank you for that. That's actually very brilliant, and it's a step to inspire other people to do these things as well. So it's a stepping turn.
yes. So keep your fingers crossed and
Like this or like
Praying.
this?
just keep your fingers crossed and hope that
Yes.
the 14th Amendment stays and that
Yes.
Oh, it
the-
will stay,
so,
because
yeah.
we,
the
we
guy in the
we
White
have
House
to make
gets
sure that it
impeached
is.
and someone can take action and take over the White House as president. You know,
Yeah,
okay? We'll be
definitely.
right